There's been one quote that's inspired me so much during those times when I feel like I've got so much in front of me. I feel so overwhelmed. It's a quote by Elizabeth Elliot, and the quote is, "Do the next thing." And that's what I want to talk about in this video. Isn't it so interesting that we see the Bible warns us much against worry in this life? And in the Sermon on the Mount, Matthew chapter 6, Jesus says, "Who of you by worrying could add a single hour to his span of life?" In other words, what can anyone accomplish by worrying? Nothing. Nothing positive. He then goes on to say, "Do not worry about tomorrow, for each day has enough worries of its own." There's another quote that's my absolute favourite from Corrie ten Boom, and it goes something along the lines of, "Worry doesn't empty tomorrow of its sorrow. It empties today of its strength." And it's so true. I think there's such a tendency to just pile worry upon worry that we overwhelm ourselves, we tie ourselves up in knots, and we put so much burden upon ourselves that it sucks the joy out of today. And God is never calling us to worry about these things or to figure out all of these things, but rather to do the next thing. And we can do that even if we're not accomplishing all that we want to accomplish, or figuring out everything that we want to figure out, or fixing everything that we want to fix. We can simply do the next thing. I think about the marathon runner. They've got so far in front of them to run. It would be so easy to think about that distance ahead, to think about how hard it is and to be overwhelmed. But they don't need to concern themselves with that. All they need to focus on is taking the next step. And I think so many times in life, it's like we can look at the marathon that's ahead of us and it can paralyze us from even taking that next step. Whereas all God is calling us to do is to take that next step, to do that next thing. And it might look different for different people. It might be something very simple. It might be just going to work today, getting on that bus, driving in. It might be making dinner, doing the dishes. It might be going for a walk. It might be picking up your Bible and reading that and spending time with God. But God simply calls us to do the next thing. I know in my own life, I think of everything I've been through, and I don't know how I've got through that journey, but all I do know is that I have got through it by simply doing the next thing. Whether I was worrying in that moment or not, all that I could do was do the next thing. And I think it's a really great reminder that we can cast our worries upon God and simply focus on doing the next thing and doing it as well as we can. It's the one thing that we can do, the only thing that we can do. This morning I was so overwhelmed with the effects of the withdrawal on my brain, and I just wanted to lay there in bed. I had my hot water bottle and I had my blankets, and I just wanted to leave my eyes closed and stay there. But I realized that it's going to be raining around lunchtime, and if I want to get out the house, the only time I can do it is in the morning. And I really didn't feel like doing it, but I said, you know what? I'm going to do the next thing. And I got up, I got ready, I had my breakfast, and I took my dog into the hills, and I enjoyed some time there. I simply did the next thing. And I really want to challenge myself. There's so much I can't fix, there's so much I can't figure out, but I can do the next thing. And I really want to pick up my Bible. I want to be in prayer. I want to be in the Word, and not thinking about, well, how's God going to figure this out? What's going to happen? How's this going to be fixed? All of that stuff. But just to be there in the moment and do the next thing. That's all I want to focus on. Maybe you're feeling overwhelmed. Maybe you've got a lot going on, and maybe it's stopping you from experiencing joy in your life. Maybe you're feeling very heavy and overwhelmed. I just want to encourage you to do the next thing. What is that thing in your life that is the next thing that you're called to do? And do it. And do it as well as you can. You might not be able to accomplish all that you want, or figure out everything you want to figure out, or fix everything you want to fix. But you can do the next thing, and ask God for His grace to do it. And ask God for His grace to help you to leave the rest with Him. Because worrying about those things isn't going to accomplish anything. But doing the next thing is. I hope this video has blessed you, friends. Leave your comments below. Would love to hear from you. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. God bless you.